Morning, crafty friends. Welcome to my craft room. My name is Dara Walter of Pickled Peppers Creative Cafe. And today is Saturday, August 9th, 2025. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And Saturdays are the days that I like to come to you and create something and show off beautiful products and inspire your craftiness. So good morning, welcome. I'm going to tilt us forward just a little bit. I think my camera is not where I want it to be. Okay, there we are. So good morning, welcome. Come on into my craft room. Super excited to have you here. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, good to see you. Welcome to my craft room. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I am always excited to be here. You guys are my inspiration to remain crafty, and I hope that I inspire you to be crafty in the same way, to pull out your stamps, inks, papers, and embellishments and make cute things. And if you need things, I have them for you. I got them. So you're in good hands. Good morning. Welcome. Well, we're starting a little bit late, so I'm not going to take up too much time. We're going to jump right into our project today. I do have to tell you that I got thrown a little bit of a curveball because I am recording live on Facebook, and then you can watch the replay if you need to here on Facebook or over on my YouTube channel. And so I'm telling you that because Facebook has changed, they changed the platform a bit again for Facebook Live. And I was thrown a curveball because I wasn't expecting it, and I don't know how to flip the camera. I took a little bit of time. I couldn't figure it out. So I'm just telling you that because I'm going to be in reverse for you today. So we'll be kind of backwards, and it will probably throw me off as well too. But I wanted to forewarn you. But so anyways, yeah, we're going to make something cute today. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure that you say hi when you come in. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. Chat with me in the comments below. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to chat with me in the comments. I love to chat with you there. If you like what we're making today on either platform, I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're over on YouTube so that you know when I post more crafty content for you. All right, so those are the announcements for today. Let's talk about what we're going to be using. And why don't you guys also tell me how you are, what kind of week you're having. Most of all, I'm especially interested if you have been creative. That makes me pretty happy. So I'm going to go ahead and show you, even though it's going to be backwards, I'll be telling you too. If you're good with backwards reading, these are the party banners dies from Stampin' Up! And actually I gave you a quick sneak peek of these before. This is what we're going to be using today. I gave you a sneak peek before, maybe I don't know, several weeks back, maybe a couple months even ago, of these dies because they come as part of a bundle. So we're only going to be using these dies, but they come as a part of a die bundle. And I wanted just to remind you of that. So remember when we use these great big chunky alpha dies to create a birthday card? So they come as a part of a bundle with the dies that we're using today, the party banners dies, and this is what they look like. And they are exactly that. They're banners. and they're graduating, so there are quite a few here. And then also you'll notice that there are little holes in corners as well. Like here are the little holes that you can, so if you're using these to create a banner, then you can die cut the holes at the same side or at the same time, and then you can I'm pretty sure these are corners, but so you can die cut them at the same time, so that's pretty cool. And the other thing is these cover a lot of real estate. Okay, I'm going to show you how big that largest die is for perspective. Okay, I'm going to take an entire piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Look at that. You see how very big? Let's see, this is still stuck down. I don't want to warp it, but just so that you have an idea, look how big that is. So you can truly create a very sizable life-size banner with these dies. I like that. And also, when I looked at this largest die, I'm going to put it back over here so maybe you can see it. If you can use your imagination. So how it's bannered at the bottom, I just imagine folding this, maybe not in half, but folding the bottom up and making like an envelope or a tuck pocket. You better believe I'm going to do that one day. When I have time to play around with these a lot more extensively, I'm going to try it because I think that'll make a cute card element. Anyway, so these are the dies that we're using today. They're called the Party Banners dies. They're really humongous, and I like them because they cover a lot of real estate. The one we're using today, though, we need it to fit nicely on our card front, so we're going a lot smaller. Okay, so let's talk about what else we're using today. We're also using, if you can see, the cardstock that I brought out. Excuse me. I'm not really, these are the colors I'm using, so I'm not really sure how we're going to be using these today. We'll find out as we're creating. I get a general concept of what I want to do, and I like some of the creating to be organic, so you are on the journey with me. I don't always. Sometimes everything is planned out to a T, and sometimes it's not. Today is one of those days it's not. So we have Pretty Peacock. We have Coastal Cabana. I have thick basic white. This is what we're going to make our card base with. And then I have some scrap basic white that we're going to do stamping on. And then we need to die cut this banner out. Excuse me. And this banner, the one that we used, I should have told you. Let me tell you how it is sized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's do it from the skinniest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's number 6 from the smallest, if you're recreating it. So we're gonna cut this out. It will fit right through our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, so we're gonna do that. So all the die cutting we're doing this week. Last week our card was oh, let me show you. It was pretty die and extensive. There we go. I'm looking for a phrase. It was pretty die cut extensive, but this is what we made last week. I love this card. I love the colors. They're very beachy, very summery. And we did all of this die cutting. So everything was die cuts, and we did a little bit of stamping. Today we have a little bit of stamping, a little more than we had with last week's card. Yeah, and if you want, go back and look at the video if you didn't get a chance to catch it for last week. I'm warning you, if you see it on Facebook, the videos are limited to 30 days. So it will disappear after 30 days. So pop over there and give a look. If you haven't had a chance to, and you can see it on YouTube as well. So we're going to die cut that. We have a little more stamping to do than we did last week. And then, of course, some assembly, and we're out of here. All right, so I have decided to work with some blacks and whites. So I've chosen the Botanical Textures Even though I know this is backwards for you guys, I'm so sorry. I spent a little bit of time. It's one of the reasons why I was going to be a little bit late. I was trying to figure that out to flip the camera, and I can't. But anyways, Botanical Textures, and no worries, because I'll put links or the product numbers if you need any of the products that we're using today. I'll put them in the description, so you'll have them there too, along with the name. So don't worry too much about us being backwards, but yeah. So that's our focus today. We're using the this designer series paper, the party banners die, and then oh no, we are going to be stamping with, you have seen this before, super excited to use these terrific toadstools. So we're going to do some stamping with the toadstools, and we're going to use the punch too. This is a bundle as well, so we're going to use the punch also. All right, so let's start by making our die base and our card base. Not our die base. I have die cutting on my mind. So how are you guys? How are you this week? Are you excited? So I'm excited for the craft season to start, but I don't want summer to end. I'm enjoying the weather. And I'm getting to do a few things outside, and I'm loving that. What have you guys been up to? Anything special? All right, so we have an 8.5 by 11 piece of basic white thick cardstock. I am going to score it the long way, right in half, which is 4 1/4 inches. And then I'll flip it around to the 11-inch side. I'll go over halfway, which is 5 1/2, and that will give me 2 A4 card bases. And if you wanted to have it flip up, you would just do the opposite thing. You would score on the 5 1/2-inch side and cut at 4 1/4, and then you would get a card that flips up and down. So we only need one today. We'll put that aside. And then we're going to do a little bit of punching. And so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put these two right together. They will cut together. And I'm just going to cut them in half the long way at the 4 1/4-inch side, because we may do a little bit of punching or some tone-on-tone stamping. And we don't need super big pieces. So I'm going to cut one of these so that we have two 1/4 pieces of each color. And I think that's all we need. I'm gonna, oh, my fan is pretty busy today. Did you see that? It's flipping everything all over. All right, I'm gonna put these close by though, just in case we need those extra pieces that we cut. Here, let's put them there. And then I think we're done with the trimmer, but I'm going to keep that handy too. And let's take our bone folder and give a nice burnish on our card base so that it lays flat. And then I think the next thing that we'll do is let's go ahead and cut our banner. So this is all the die cutting that we have to do. If you're not familiar with die cutting, can you see that little groove? I'll flip it over. You see how this side is fat? So that groove is what does the cutting. So we need to have that face down. I might need to cut that off a little bit to make sure that it fits through our mini cut and emboss machine. And we're going to bring out our very cute, very handy mini cut and emboss machine. Flip the platform right down. Can you see? Very cute and quaint. I discovered last week that I lost one of my feet. Yeah, I haven't found it. I have no idea where it's at. So maybe when I go to the hardware store, I'll see if they have some more of those little sticky tabs. Now that is bothersome. When we do our die cutting, if you're new to creating, I like to refer to the sandwich or the layers that we have to use as a sandwich. It's my fry pan. We're making grilled ham and cheese. I always make grilled ham and cheese. So we'll put that number 1 base. They're numbered for you, and our platform. And then here's our bottom piece of bread. Yeah, we're gonna need to cut this down just a little bit. I'm gonna do it with a trimmer because we have a larger die to cut. And I wanna make sure that I don't cut it crooked, and that way we end up not being able to get the entire die. So, okay, so next we're gonna put our ham, and then our cheese, and then the top bread to the sandwich. We're just gonna shove it in. We're gonna kind of hold it in and crank it through. Ooh, that's a tight crank. Sometimes it sounds like it's crackling when you crank it through, and no worries there. It's supposed to do that. It's supposed to do that. All right, I think, you guys, I think that's all the die cutting that we have to do. Easy peasy, right? And we'll put this away for future use. And then we're gonna do some stamping. Let's grab some blocks. I didn't get those out ahead of time. So grab a couple of blocks. We're gonna do our stamping right on the die cut. Oh, you know, we have to cut the designer series paper. Let's put this aside for a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. We have to choose a designer series paper, and we have to cut that out. And then we'll do a little bit of stamping. We have to get all of our layers together for our card base. So let's start out by deciding. We're going to look at the designer series paper and decide which pattern we're going to use. And actually, we've used this pattern, and I think that might work. But let's just kind of flip through. This larger pattern is nice too. I chose it because they're leaves without flowers, and we can put our mushrooms on it. Hey, look at that. This is reverse. Here's the pattern that I think we're going to be using. And can you see the reverse sides? Oh, this is nice. Ooh, we're not going to use that. This looks like water. It looks like deep ocean, that black water that you see. Have you ever been on a cruise and been way out in the middle of the ocean? The water is so dark. It's scary, kind of. Definitely something to behold. Oh, this is interesting too. I don't know what that looks like. A dark forest. All right, so yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead, even though I do like this pattern on the top a lot, and there was another, this one, with the little splotchy thingies, but I think we're gonna go ahead and use that pattern. We're gonna have kind of a busy pattern, and I'm gonna cut this down to 3 3/4 of an inch by 5. I think that's what we're gonna use, 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm gonna cut it by 5 first. That gives us a larger portion to save for later. And then I'll cut it down to 3 3/4 of an inch. And then, so I'm gonna make a larger mat, something that I do in my card making a lot, especially if I'm using a large mat. So this is what we're gonna see on the surface of our card, these 2 layers here. But we have a basic white card base, and we could leave it like that. We could even put a layer of black in between, but I thought we'd grab, which is why we have the Coastal Cabana and Pretty Peacock. Aren't these yummy together? Yummy, yummy, right? We're gonna put one of them in between just to break up the black and white. It's one of my favorite things to do, and black and white with a pop of color is one of my jams. Yeah, let's go ahead with the Pretty Peacock. And we'll cut that piece down to 5 1/4 by 4. So let's cut a sliver off, and we'll make this 4. And then we'll cut it down to 5 1/4. You'll find that I do this a lot in my card making. Even if the layers are smaller, I'll just size up 1/4 of an inch. Oh, my trash is a little far under the desk there. I might have a mess to clean up. And so this is what it will look like. We're gonna layer it like this. Boom, 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 and boom. And then we'll do our stamping here, and we'll decide where we'll go from there. All right, I almost forgot that. So now let's go back to where we were. We were gonna do a little bit of stamping. Still not sure what we're gonna do with the Coastal Cabana, and I may bring in another piece of that Pretty Peacock, because I've forgotten about the layer, and not sure exactly how we'll use it, but let's go ahead and do some stamping. So now we're using Terrific Toadstool, because that's the stamp set. I thought we could use color to contrast that black and white, and I think I can make my toadstools practically any color, the rainbow, and it will look good. But I did bring in Pretty Peacock and Coastal Cabana because I'm kind of doing a matchy-matchy thing today. And then so I'm gonna grab both of the stems for the toadstool. I may need a longer block. And I'm gonna start with, let's start with the fatter one. Oh, this is gonna fit fine. And then I have 2 colors of gray. I'm gonna use gray for the stem. I brought in basic gray. Blah, blah, blah. And if it's too dark, I'm gonna grab a scrap of basic white. If it's too dark, I will use, let's see, I brought in Smoky Slate because I think that's a little bit lighter. But let's see how the basic gray works. Just gonna stamp it. Oh, I think it's gonna be perfect. Is it gonna be perfect? I like it. All right, so I'm gonna make 2 mushrooms. Let's turn it around the right way. And let's see, it matters directionally because I don't want this one to point off of the die cut, although it wouldn't make a difference because we still have the layers of the card base. But I think I'm gonna put this one right about here. Very good, and then we'll put that away. And then we're gonna grab the other, it's a skinnier one. And this one might go a little bit off the die cut, which is okay. And I'm gonna put it down just a little bit. I'm not gonna make them completely even. They're not gonna be grounded to anything. Normally you would add something to ground them to. There's a little grassy hill there that you could use for that, but we're not going to use that. Let's go ahead and cover the gray because I think we're done with it. By the way, the punch that goes along with, you can, let's not get the glare, you can totally punch a stem, and you could punch, which you'll see, we're gonna stamp and punch for the caps of our toadstools. And now we have to decide whether or not we want to do tone on tone stamping, and I think we're gonna try it. Let's try it. So I'm gonna move this out of the way, scooch these up, which we're gonna use, and we're gonna use these 2 caps. So I'm going to grab them out. You can see that I used red tones with them before. Let's see, maybe this will fit on here. I don't want to make the block too big. And then let's try the larger. Let's do the larger since we're not using the Coastal Cabana as a matted layer. Let's use the larger mushroom cap, and let's try to punch that with the Coastal Cabana. I think that'll give us a little more color balance. So I'm just going to tap, 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 pick up some ink, and I'm going to stamp this down. I'm going to do it on both sides. And the reason that I'm going to do that is this Coastal Cabana? Oh, that's pretty dark. It works, but I'm going to put it on both sides because I can't remember how to stick it into the punch near the end so that we can punch it out without having to reach. And maybe this is a good idea and maybe not. We'll know when we're going to punch. And then let's see if we can get away with the same thing and the pretty peacock. We may need to use white. I don't know. But in my mind's eye, I saw us using tone on tone. So let's go ahead and try this. Oh, good morning, Kathy. How are you? Welcome to my craft room. Thanks for hanging out today. You know what? I love these colors too. I super duper love any shade of teal, and Pretty Peacock is one of my favorites. It's very deep. I don't know. I like it a lot. Let's see. I'm going to hop over and get you on my laptop. Let's try to do that so I can maybe pick up more of your comments. I try really hard. I try 3 different places, you guys, so I can chat with you while we're creating. There we are. Hi, Julie. Good morning. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you guys. Thank you so much for popping in and hanging out with me. All right, so okay, so let's go ahead and cover this up. We're going to punch those mushroom caps off, and I think it looks good. Do you think it looks good tone on tone? I think it looks good. Hey, we could make them look mystical and whimsical if we could make them shiny. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, so let's get our card base, just kind of get our bearings here. Have to decide where we're gonna put that. And let's bring in the punch. So this is an easy card, you guys. It's easy peasy. All right, so I have to punch it this way. So do you see why I did, I punched on both ends? I couldn't remember which way to punch. There we go. This is the idea anyways. And I'm just realizing something, that I may like it better if the stem shows on top of the cap, but we'll leave it for now. We will leave it, but I will try. We'll try and see. All right, so this is what we have in now. I think it might look kind of cool too if we put a piece of contrasting, or one of our pieces of cardstock, just make a little banner across the top. And you know what? We could actually even do that with our sentiment. I wonder if we could do that with our sentiment, because our sentiment is going to go towards the top here. Ta-da, ta-da. And we just have to decide on that finishing touch. I saw the sentiment going here, but what if we tried, stamping it on? Let's go ahead. Let me see exactly how wide our banner is. Oh, here, let's put this aside. Being a little messy. Let's close this punch back up because I think we're done with it for now. And I'm going to bring back in the Stampin' trimmer. Let's see how wide this is. Oh, it's about 3 inches. All right, let's bring in the Stampin' trimmer, and I'm going to cut a 3-inch piece of cardstock. And do we want it 3 by 1? Let's see if 1 is too fat. Yeah, let's take it down to 3/4 of an inch. And we'll see if we like that. And I'll just snip the sides off, so I'm not worried about the 3-inch. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So let's do some final assembly here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my Stampin' Seal Plus. And can you see what I'm doing with that stamp that we're going to stamp the sentiment with? I am using it to imagine what it might look like at the end. So, or once we stamp on it. So let's go ahead and maybe we'll stamp it with Pretty Peacock. Let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment, and then we'll pop it down and cut the excess off. I think that's the best approach. We're going to use Pretty Peacock right on top of the Coastal Cabana. And this feels very tropical to me as well. I think last week's card felt very beachy in color, in the color scheme that we used, and this one feels very tropical. Oh, perfect, perfect. I like it. I like it. All right, I think we're done here. All right, we just have some assembly and embellishing to do, and I think we are going to be done. So I just wanted to see if I wanted to leave a little bit of a white, oh, I bent that, a little bit of a white border at the top, or if we want to cut that right off before we decide whether or not to stick this down. Do we want to see the white, or do we want it right at the top? Let's leave a sliver of white. I don't know why, because I don't know, that just feels right to me. So I'm going to go ahead, add a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus to the little banner that we created, and I'm gonna leave just a tiny little sliver at the top. You know what we could have done as well? We can actually leave these longer. We could even make a little banner on the edge there. No, I think that's too busy. Let's grab some scissors and we're gonna cut the excess off. So I'm gonna just turn it right over, cut that extra off. We're gonna behave today. I think we've had a little bit of ingenuity already, so we're gonna behave. All right, so let's put these together, and then we're gonna use some Stampin' Dimensionals to pop up our cap. So we'll add our Designer Series layer right to that Pretty Peacock mat. And there's no direction to it. So, by the way, you guys, I just want to remind you that we're seeing things backwards today because I couldn't figure out where the button went on the Facebook Live video, which is where we're recording. I couldn't figure out where the little button to flip it around disappeared to. Hopefully I'll figure it out. I'm gonna play with it a little bit. So if you're seeing me backwards, no worries. Anything that's written out, I will, or anything that's has words on it or numerics, I will put it in the description so that you're able to see it in the right orientation. So we're going to go a little bit to the left side, and the reason is because, remember, this small mushroom is going to, it's going to lay off to the side a little bit, and maybe I'll make it flat and we'll pop the larger one. No, maybe we'll make this one flat and we'll pop this one. Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's give a little Seal Plus here. We're gonna pop this cap down completely flat. And then let's grab some Stampin Dimensionals, because there is going to be dimension somewhere if I can help it. And one should be sufficient, I think. We're gonna pop this right over top of the smaller stem. Oh, it didn't overlap at all. We probably could have gotten away even with another mushroom. I don't know. Calling them mushrooms. Stampin' Up! Is calling them toadstools. I am saying it interchangeably because I don't know. So I am looking at the basic gray, and the basic gray looks like a warm gray to me. I'll show you guys. So here we are before embellishments. Ta-da, ta-da. What do you think about the color and the black and white? I like it. And you know, even having let's see, that straight down looks a little bit crooked. I'm going to try to move it. Even having that matted layer underneath, I think we could have done that with black, and it would have looked a little interesting as well. All right. Now, because that basic gray, I was going to show you up close, it looks like a warmer gray. I am wondering if we can get away with adding a little bit of twine. And then for embellishments, I also brought in the shades of green hexagons. I know this is backwards for you. Shades of greens. And because I want to grab that that coastal cabana looking color and the pretty peacock. So we're going to use these for embellishments too, but I wonder if we can make a bow using the linen thread. Oh my gosh, my fan blew the bag away. I wonder if that would jive. Let's do it. Let's do it, and we'll see how we like it. And if we don't, we can always decide not to use it. Let's make just a little bow here, and then we'll put our gems on. That's going to be our sparkly. Wink of Stella, I think, would have looked good on the caps of the toadstools, and then we would have like an enchanted garden. Maybe no. Maybe no to the bow. Maybe we'll just stick with the hexagons. Let's try to cut this down a little bit. I don't think I can make this jive. I don't know. What do you guys think? Bow or no bow? Bow or no bow? I think no bow. I'm not liking it very well. All right, so let's go ahead and grab my take your pick tool. The bow is trying to come back into the picture, and we don't want it there. We'll add some embellishments, and then we're done. So let me turn this over. Can you see? These are pretty sparkly too. You can't really see them that well on the camera. Let me tuck that away. And then we're going to use both of the darker colors, the medium color and the dark color. The lighter green would go well with like lemon lime twist, granny apple green, I think. Let's put a big one here, and then we'll do a smaller one here. Let's make sure I have the right sticky side down. Oh no, I don't. Let's use the picky side. That flipped upside down, and maybe here. We'll use another large, darker one. There we go. Okay, I think we're done. So here's our finished project, and it says popping up to say hi. Maybe we'll stamp on the inside. Let's give a little mushroom, an all flat one to the inside. One of my favorite things I like to do. And so we're going to need that stem again. And we'll use these smaller, the skinnier of the stems, I think. Let's make sure, yeah, that one goes outside. Let's move that cap over. And we're going to have the basic gray once again. Let's make sure I'm putting this on the right side. This is the front of our card, so I'm just gonna, let's make it lean inside just a little bit. And then we'll make this one, let's make it the Coastal Cabana. And that will finish our card. Yes, my favorite colors. It's funny, my favorite color is actually pink, and I kind of vacillate between pink and purple. But I really love jewel tones, teals in particular. Oh, I love it. There we go. Our finished card, popping up to say hi. All right, so that is my share for this week. I do want to let you know that there will be a link to my online store in the description, and some new products were added to the last chance list. So if you're looking for discounts, there's some pretty fun stuff over there. So there will be a link to the store in the description if you want to pop over and check that out. So let's talk about what we use today. Our main feature, the party banners dies, and here they are. That's what we stamped on here in the background. It's these ginormous dies. I showed you how big they were. So this is the die that we used. Can you see where it goes? So it's like, I think I said the 5th or the 6th from the smallest. And then you have all of these large ones too. And then you have some detail if you're going to use it to make banners, but you can totally use it to make a card or cards with. The terrific toadstools we used. You could use flowers or anything that you have in your stash. So I grabbed my stash today. I decided on the toadstools. I've only been able to show them once, so and I thought they would look good with the teals that I wanted to use. We used the shades of green hexagons, and then don't forget those banners dies come as a bundle with these ginormous party alpha dies. Remember these? All this takes up lots of real estate. It makes my heart happy. And then we just paired it together with some coordinating ink. So we did matchy-matchy, the Pretty Peacock and the Coastal Cabana. And then we used basic gray to make our stems. And here is the end result. All right, you guys, thank you so much for popping in to share with me today, hanging out in my craft room with me. I so appreciate that you chose to spend your time here with me, your most precious commodity. You're sharing it with me. I'm forever grateful for that. I will see you next week, and next week we'll be here, same place, same time. So I will be back. We have a new stamp bundle that we're going to be using next week. So hope you're able to hang out with me in my craft room then. Until then, have a fantastic weekend. I will see you soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.